So in order to use PDB files with Cytoscape in 2.8.3, you will need Chimera. I don't think this will be necessary in 3.0, but we'll have to wait till it all released sometime. So Chimera is a residue structure viewing tool like JMOL or PyMOL. To download it, you go to the website, and you can get here by just searching Chimera and picking the UCSF Chimera, or it's www.cgl.ucsf.edu Chimera. So you go to download, and the first thing that's going to be there is Microsoft Windows. Now most likely we're looking at a 64-bit system, so we're going to click on 64-bit. There's a licensing agreement, and then it starts downloading, and it's not small, so be back after it's downloaded. There, it's just about there it is, it's done. So now we want to install it. It's very simple, just double click and it brings up the run box. Now the screen blanks and you get the security warning asking you, do you want to allow this unknown publisher to make changes to this computer? You just hit yes, and that brings up the installer. You are going to just do the standard next, 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 and then install, and off it goes. And I'll be back when it's finished. Okay, so we're finishing up. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes, so it was right at this point it's been running about 12 minutes, the installer has, and that's because it's downloading a lot of background stuff. Okay, now once you get here you'll see precompiled Python modules, so hit finish and it's going to bring up this command box, and what it's just doing is it's turning all its .py files into .pyc, compiled Python files, and they just run faster. So 4 or 5 minutes at this point. There are a lot of Python files. Chimera is written completely in Python and based on Python, and so it's very important that for speed that it gets to compile all these Python files, because Python is slow, relatively speaking, but fast when you actually so Python is slow, relatively speaking, when it's just strictly interpreted, but you can compile all these Python things through a C compiler using a thing called Cython, and those are as fast as anything else that you can run on a computer. Okay, here we go. So we have, let's go to plugins, install plugin from file, and then we have to browse to where the file actually is, Google Drive, and it's the Rinalyzer.jar. So you see it there, hit open. Now if we go to plugins and manage plugins, then we'll see that these are the plugins that we have installed right now. Analysis, we've got Rinalyzer, version 1.2. All these are available. Now Rinalyzer is what's going to do all our work for us. Notice it's down here. So it's got protein structure. You can open a structure from file, layout, visual properties, manage node sets, compare, so on and so forth. So RIN is Residue Interaction Network. So there's a really nice tutorial, and I'll give you the link to that, but we need do a little more setup. Now in order to do that, first let's just open up a new empty network, just so there's a network here, because Rinalyzer has to have a network that it's working with. Now let's go to plugins and Rinalyzer and protein structure, and what's going to happen is I'm going to get an error, and I'm going to tell you why we get this error. So we do open structure from file, and here's 2DBO, and notice it says it cannot run the program. Insert the path to your Chimera application below. Now you may not get this. It may start up, and I'll show you that in just a minute. However, what we need to do is go to Edit and Preferences and Properties, and you'll notice the Chimera path up here is empty. Now what you'll put in here is you'll select it and you'll modify, and then you're going to put in C:, this thing right here, so on and so forth. So notice it's Program Files, Chimera 1.7 and BIN, because Chimera actually, or Rinalyzer actually defaults to Chimera without the 1.7 here. So then you're going to hit OK, and if you need to, you can click on the Start menu and go to where the UCSF Chimera is located, and you can see that right here. And if you open that up, you'll notice that Chimera 1.7, if you right click and then do Properties, then the first thing, the target, actually gives you everything, and you need to stop at the bin for the actual path. Okay, so there's the path. So now let's try this again, and we go to Rinalyzer, and we're going to do open structure from file, and we'll go back to 2BBO, and it's going to launch Chimera and tell us it's successfully loaded everything, but in reality it didn't put any of the PDB structure in, because I just created an empty network. You'll have to do the tutorial to see how that works. However, it did create our import of 2BBO, and there's another issue, and that is we may have to edit out some of the non-residue structures, the head atom stuff that's kind of ancillary and got picked up, but I can help you with that later.